Building on that, obviously these women being role models is a good example. And tomorrow is International Women's Day. The theme this year is Invest in Women. And like I said, I will be at Microsoft tomorrow morning on a Microsoft panel, which I think is really good for our visibility. And I think it's important also that we all recognize that we still have a way to go. Obviously, in leadership in Rapid Circle, we are doing quite well. But we are really looking for more technical women as well to make sure that we reach a higher percentage in those teams too. And this is a very long struggle already, because the lady here is my mom. In 1976, this was in the IBM Employee magazine. And this was an article about the fact that at that point in time, they had 10% women in the business. And they were running a program to try and get more women. 1976, so that was before I was born. Now, we are a little over 10%, but not in terms of technical roles, not that far. So we are still working on the same thing well over 45 years later. But I think that it shows that it's an important theme. It's a theme that we need to continue to work on. And that really, that some focus is really warranted there for us. So we will also explicitly look if we can find more technical women this year. I always used to be very much against quota. Now we won't put in quota, but it does really help. It really helps to have some focus on it. It really helps to really make it explicit that this is what we are looking for and that we do want more women in these types of roles as well. And what will help there is if we understand that we need to fight our unconscious bias to do that. We all have unconscious bias, women too. I have the same biases as all of you because I grew up in the same society. Right, so it's not that the inside of my head is very different from yours. One of my favorite comedians has a sketch in which he says, the husband of a record company exec. And after I heard that for the first time, for several days, I thought the record company exec is gay. Because that was more at the top of my mind than the idea that the record company exec could be a woman, which is crazy, right? But that's how we are conditioned. So if we are looking for women and if you are catching yourself making swift assumptions, try and stop yourself and think. 95% of our decisions are made without conscious thinking, and it really helps to stop and think sometimes. Also for me.